Hi, I am Tamika Cheatham, Executive Director at the Craftsman Guild of Mississippi. I am so excited to introduce to you a new video series called the Crafty View, featuring our prestigious craftsmen. In this series, we will learn about their work, inspiration, and in some cases, watch them demonstrate. We hope you enjoy watching it as much as we enjoy presenting it to you. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much for your support. Have a crafty day.
Welcome to the Crafty View. I'm Diane Williams, the host for the show. My guest today is Aftan Mitchell. Actually, she's Dr. Aftan Mitchell. She's a member of the Craftsmen's Guild of Mississippi. Welcome, Aftan. How are you today?
Hi, thank you. I'm doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, in the middle of all that's going on with the pandemic. Today, I'd like to talk to you about your craft. Tell us about your art form. And is there just one? Because sometimes Craftsman Guild members are adjudicated into the guild for one type of art form, but we want to know all about you.
Well, I am a crocheter. So I'm like a fiber artist and yarn is my jam. Um, I am slowly teaching myself how to knit a little bit. My grandma's the one who taught me how to crochet. She tried to teach me to knit. It didn't work out back then, but YouTube has been helping me now.
Oh, great. A lot of people are mentioning how we're learning techniques and things on YouTube, and that's fabulous because it's similar to taking an in-person class. It's almost like having a one-on-one, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. And I can stop, pause it, rewind, and catch it again, not having to make somebody repeat it to me 10 times.
Right, right. How long have you been crocheting?
I have been crocheting over 30 years. My grandma claims she taught me how to crochet when I was 3 years old. I'm not sure how accurate that number is, but it's been a long time.
What inspires you?
For me, it's everyday life. I love crocheting useful things, things that I can use in my day-to-day life, like my earrings, or I have this little cup cozy to catch like all the condensation off my drinks. I like making things that can be used, that don't just sit there and collect dust.
Let us see those earrings again. I want to just kind of get a good look at those.
Okay, I have some that I'm not wearing that might show up better in the camera. Oh, where's my camera?
Nice. And it's like a pineapple design, isn't it?
Yes, they're the pineapple motif. And I like big earrings, but I like them to be lightweight. And so the yarn serves that function for me.
Nice. I crochet as well, so I recognize that design.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your focus when you create? You said you like to do useful things and you see things, all around, but like if you were going to make something today, where are you going to get your inspiration from? Or does it just happen?
Nowadays it's a lot of online inspiration. Like Instagram, we call ourselves our fiber friends. I've made a few fiber friends on Instagram. And so I'll see what they're making and think, oh, that's a cute idea. Or I'll see some colors and, go into my craft room and see what yarn I have that matches that kind of same color palette.
It's almost like a mentorship, networking with others. And it's not that you're copying, your work would be original, it's just the idea, because there's actually no new ideas under the sun.
Yes.
So getting that inspiration from others is really, really important. We can work in a silo, but creativity comes from, our five senses, what we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, that kind of thing.
That's so true.
How important is the tactile nature of the work, the feel, the touch? Do you look for certain types of yarns, etc.?
Yes. So starting off 30 years ago, there wasn't that many yarn options available. You just went to Walmart and you got Red Heart. And I still will use it every now and then, but I can tell that it's like scratchier. Like the pandemic has been really hard because I love to go into the yarn stores and touch and feel um, to see how I like the yarn. I tend now to try to lean more towards natural fibers. I love cotton blend yarns. To me, they're softer. 100% cotton can be kind of stiff, but if it's a cotton blend, it's softer, and I feel like that yarn wears better over time, like with washing and stuff.
Okay, talk to us a little bit about what you look for in the difference of when you're making a design for an adult and when you're making a design for a baby. Is there any difference in the types of yarns you use when you look at that gap in how it feels to the baby and how it feels to an adult?
Honestly, not really. They do make yarn specifically for babies, but I, as an adult, prefer the softer feels of like the yarns, and so I figured if it feels good against my skin, it'll feel good against the baby skin too.
Nice, nice. So you lean towards the softer overall.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good idea. Tell me a little bit about, I don't want to delve too, I know you're a doctor, but I don't want to delve
Well,
too, too
I'm
deep.
a pharmacist.
You're a pharmacist. I
Yes,
consider
ma'am.
them doctors. People need to know when you go to the pharmacist, you don't have to be afraid to talk to them. I always tell people this all the time. They are educated. They are
Yes,
educated. You can say, can you help me find something? I got this cough. It just comes. You all are wonderful, and
thank you.
you've been trained, and I think I've seen you anyway. Because I recognize your face, and I think you've waited on me. I don't know. Um,
You shop at Walgreens? I
yeah,
probably have.
yeah. Anyway, I want to know a little bit about whether you have been educated in the arts at all, even when you went to pharmacy school, or did you have any adult enrichment courses or anything in any type of art?
Um, Not really. I mostly learned from my grandma just growing up. She would actually go and teach classes at like nursing homes, teaching other people how to crochet and stuff, and she would take me to class with her. Um, but no formal classes.
Okay. What do you think about, you know, as members of the Craftsmen's Guild, we're a network that feels it's important to preserve our art forms. So what do you think about mentoring? You're mentoring someone, someone mentoring you. Is that important?
Yes, very much so. I can't wait till it's safe to be out in public again. Because I just you learn so much more from other people. I feel like there's only so much I can come up with and so much creativity I can generate on my own. But being able to bounce ideas back and forth off of somebody else, I think is crucial. And to have a mentor is somebody who's most of the time, they've been through more than you, they've seen more, experienced more, and that's the best learning resource there is, in my opinion.
Really is. It really is. How do you do your work? Do you have a studio or studio space in your home? Um, what is your work area like? Tell us about it or show us if you have a studio.
I have a craft room, but it is a mess. It does not deserve to be on camera right now. But I do most of my crocheting on the couch. I'll pull up a good movie or a podcast or something and then just get to work. But I like to have a little background noise while I crochet.
I do too when I'm doing my art form. Wonderful, wonderful. Um, And I want to know about your being a member of the Craftsmen's Guild, what that was like for you. Um, the audience should know that people that apply to the Craftsmen's Guild have to reapply every 3 years. And after the fourth adjudication, they apply to get in, and then they get adjudicated 3 more times. And I want to know how long you've been a member and what that adjudication has meant to you to go through that process.
So I've only been a member a year. Um, but I've been around the Craftsmen's Guild for a while. My friend's dad is a potter, and I would go to like the Chimneyville Crafts Festival and help him. So I already knew a lot of the people, and that the other members encouraged me to join once they found out that I crocheted and had seen a couple of my pieces. And so that encouragement is what led me to apply. And honestly, it's a little nerve wracking to have somebody judge your work because I put so much time and effort into it. And what if they don't think it's as good as I think it is? So it's a little nerve wracking while you wait for them to review it. But it's a big sigh of relief when you find out you've made it in.
That is wonderful. And that process that you go through every 3 years, you haven't done it over and over. I can guarantee it makes you better and better and better. When you finally become a fellow, you're almost a master artist. And I just remember where I know you from because you said you worked with the potter in that little corner when you first come in on the far left. I
Yes,
know.
ma'am.
I used to be across from you all with the fiber arts, but anyway, that's a backstory. And you all would do wonderfully well. So you're sort of like me. I learned from George Berry, and right now there's an exhibit up for the month of February showing the works of African American artists in the George Berry room. He was a wood carver, and his work spanned a lifetime. He is gone on now, but we are being celebrated as African American artists in that room at this time. And I used to have a booth next to George Berry, and he was my mentor. And I think outside of your art form, the person that you worked for, in a way, is a mentor to you to understand the dynamic. Talk about that. I don't want to get into that person too much, but the dynamic of, I don't know if you've done Chimneyville yet. Chimneyville is the craft show at the end of the year that most craft people participate in. But what was it like to be next to someone that exhibited like that? And have you learned anything from what they were doing?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I learned a lot from him. I have not gotten to participate in Cheneyville since I just got accepted into the guild last year. When the pandemic hit, the traditional Cheneyville setup wasn't couldn't take place, so I haven't gotten to do it. But I have done quite a few shows with him, and I learned a lot just about the logistics of setting up your space, making sure you have pathways for customers to go through. Setting your checkout stand a little bit to the side so you're not in the way, being available to talk to the customers, but not just like overbearing on them. And I've used what I've learned from helping him I've done other craft shows, none with the guild, but like I've done Canton Flea Market before, and I used what I learned from helping him when I set up my own.
That is fabulous because he had an actual store. He had about
Yeah,
3 or 4 booths. He didn't just, he was ready. Y'all
we
were
had
ready.
we had a storage space in the back to replenish as things sold out. Yeah, it was a mini store. It really was.
Yes, it was a mini store. And people need to understand there are artists out there that are crafts, they're doing crafts and they want to get into something like this, but understanding that entire dynamic that it's a business. It's a business. And when you adjudicate in, the hope is that you're going to be doing events and shows like the Canton Flea Market, like Chimneyville, other places and spaces. And it's important to understand that you've got to be business minded and be ready. You got to have something to be able to make change too, don't you?
Yes, ma'am, that's important as well. And another thing that he taught me is to don't undervalue your work. Just because somebody walks up and they want to pay less or they ask for a discount you don't have to feel obligated to, because as he said, whether you buy 1 or 5 of the same thing, I put just as much time and effort into every single one of those pieces.
Wow, that was good advice. Very good advice. Um, have you ever heard of the John C. Campbell Folk Art School or Penland or any of those places where people can go away on retreat and either teach or participate in classes to learn more about their work?
No, ma'am, this is my first time hearing of those.
What would you think of something like that coming to the craft center where all of our, we teach classes out there, but what if there was a place where this went on all year long and that there were, maybe seasonal? Would you participate or consider something like that?
Yes, ma'am, I would. I think that would be great. Like, creating and working with yarn brings me so much joy. So I would love to get to share that with others.
Wonderful. If someone wanted to get in touch with you, what social medias would they be able to tap into to contact you?
I have a website. I also have a Facebook page and an Instagram page, and they're all under Afghans by Afton.
Would you spell that for us? Because some people may need to know how to really get to it.
Yes, ma'am. It is AFGHANSBYAFTAN and then .com for the website.
Okay. And again, you said the medias are the website, Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, you've asked wonderful questions.
Well, thank you. And again, people can see the show at the Craftsmen's Guild in the George Berry Room during the month of February. If you're looking at this video after the month of February, we do have a large gallery space at the Craftsmen's Guild, and the artisans are also exhibited out at the Pearl Outlet Mall. So we hope to see you there. Come look at the crafts. It's like going to a museum. And Aftan, I want to thank you. Your work is wonderful. Thank you so much.